Okay, this is the story of the first time that I told somebody I loved them.
I feel, many will say that it was like a beautiful day like today in front of a fountain with the music playing in the back, but it was, we were just in her home. We were just watching TV on her bed, and while watching the show, I couldn't focus on what was going on in the movie because I was taken by the emotions I was starting to realize and feel out of nowhere. And I just looked at her and I told her, that I love you. And it was because I really did feel it. I felt like I needed her to know, because you never know if tomorrow was granted or not. Her reciprocating it was like the pillow that I needed, because saying I love you is so risky, and it's like if I'm dropping my head back and if you don't hear it back or say it back, you're just gonna slam your head very hard to something. But she was that pillow that kind of reassured me, like, all right, everything's gonna be all right.
We had been dating for a month, which really isn't that long, but I just felt it. I knew it was different, and I really wanted him to say it first because I was too scared. So I remember one night when I was saying goodbye, because we were doing kind of a long distance thing, I was hugging him and I was saying, I really like you. And he was like, yeah, I really like you too. But I was really digging into it. I was like, no, you don't get it. I really like you. And I was listing off all of these things that I love about him. Like, I love his smile, I love his hair, I love his laugh, I love his kindness, I love his personality. And he caught on and he just said, I love you. And I was just like, yes, I love you too. I kind of pushed him into it a little bit, but he wanted to say it too, so it worked out.
I think the first time I told someone I love them would have been my best friend at the time. It was mutual. We loved each other. And I think I even gave her a little blue ring I had. That was before I was interested in boys. That first love is so innocent. You're not looking for anything. You are a blank slate and you just know what you love, and it's straight from the heart. Later on, you look for things. You look for qualities, or there's a blueprint later on, but in the first love is just straight from the heart. It doesn't matter what someone looks like. It doesn't matter if they're your best friend. It doesn't matter what sex they are. It doesn't matter how much money they have. It's just from the heart.
The first time I told somebody I love them, I was probably in kindergarten. His Lego I think it was like a G.I. Joe, got stuck in a tree, and I got it because I was the only tall one. And he gave me a kiss on the cheek, and I told him I loved him.
I never really knew what love was. I thought I did. It was something I always wanted, but I never knew what it was, honestly. Until I met this one right here. I've had, I guess they call it puppy love. I don't know. I thought it was love. But when I met him, that's when I experienced love. You lose yourself in puppy love because you're so about the other person. I don't know, you lose who you are. You feel like you tolerating their behavior. He asked me, how do I tolerate him? And normally when somebody asks me that question, I'm like, because this. But when he asked me that, I was like, I don't tolerate you. I love you.
Can you explain the setting, how you said it exactly?
I was just describing everything I love about him, but I didn't say I love you. And then he asked me, he said, you love everything else about me but me. And I was like, I do love you. So that was my first time telling him I love him. It's different. You'll know it when you get it, I promise. You will know it. That's my husband. Next time y'all see us, you'll see us married. I'm telling you.
So when I was 16, I had a boyfriend, and he would always say, I love you, tube. I love you, tube. Just so he wouldn't have to say I love you. When we were first starting dating, so it was awkward. He's a really funny ginger. And so one day he's like, I love you. And I was like, tube? And he's like, no tube. That was how we said I love you for the first time. So we're dumb and 16 years old.
I don't think I really have. I just remember, honestly, I had an ex-girlfriend, but I cared for her a lot, but I don't think I ever actually told her. At least not in direct, I love you.
So how would you express to her that you loved her?
I don't know, we just spent a lot of time together, obviously. Probably shared through a lot of like hardships, a lot of darkness we both carried.
So you were feeling it, but you didn't.
Looking back, yeah, it definitely was, but I don't know, I guess it's weird, I don't know. I never really thought about it till now, actually. Kind of missed opportunity, I guess.
Have you been in love since?
Not like that.
It was actually over text because I'm dumb and I couldn't like properly express myself then, and so I was feeling kind of sad, and he's just really nice. I'm gonna start crying. And he's like my shoulder to lean on, and I just love him a lot. And so I told him I loved him. He said, I think I love you too. I love him more than all the stars in the galaxy.
I never told anyone that I love you, that I love him or her.
Okay. And what did you tell me earlier?
And I hope that... No. Es que se me ha olvidado que era. And I hope that never do it.
You hope that you're never
Never say anyone love you, I love you.
Why is that?
Because I don't see the point. Everyone say I love you. I want to say anything else. Anything different. Something that really means something. No, I don't know how to say. I think the meaning of I love you is empty. We say I love that thing, or I love no sé qué, that something. But when you, I don't know, find a person who actually you, no sé, I don't know, but so, I love you is empty. It's mainstream.
So it's not that you don't want to find this connection, you just don't want to express it in those ways?
I don't know, I mean, this connection really exists.
Do you believe in love?
Oh yeah, of course.
So your sister went before you and she doesn't?
Yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't. But yes, I believe in love. Okay. I hope to find someone really special to me, and I don't know, maybe spend all my life with him.
It was Halloween. We had a Halloween party at my house. We're in my room. I think maybe I was like holding his face in my hands. And I said, don't make me say it. Don't make me say that I love you. It was really nice.
So I guess the last time I felt like the words I love you I really needed to say was when I left my home in San Jose to come here to San Diego. I really felt like I needed to say it to my parents. I really didn't tell them my plan or intention of moving down here to San Diego, and me and my parents, we don't really have a great relationship in terms of like being communicative and expressing our feelings towards each other. I've been in San Diego for almost 4 years, and I've only seen my parents like once or twice every year. The further I am away from them, I really feel like, man, I really wish I said I love you to them when I left, and until this day too, it's a struggle for me to say I love you to my parents, and if I could say it right now, I would say it like a million times. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Would you be down to call them right now? And tell them you love them?
You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna call my mom right now. I want to tell her I love her.
Okay, there you go.
I'm gonna do it right now. Wow. Hello, mom. Question nga mami nó mami con I love you, mom.
I love you mà có nghe lời mẹ không? Lớp mẹ mà có nghe lời mẹ không chứ?
I'm sorry, I know. Con.
Chứ có ở lại đó cái gì bây giờ học con đi, thôi đâu mà con phải ở đó.
Dạ.
Sao con không về nhà mình mà, nhà của con mà mẹ có khen con, mẹ nấu nướng cho con ăn đi học thôi.
Dạ, con biết mà. Dạ.
Được. Ý là hả?
Không
cái tính là hả?
Cái tính về con also biết là ở đây nó khó luôn á, and con có mami bố thầy để giúp con hoài, so that's why con biết là mami với bố thầy take care con, thương con á, so.
Thế rồi, family của con mà, trời ơi, sắp đến.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, con biết mà con. Mami.
Người ta ghét châu Á rồi, người ta ghét mình. Mami đi xong người ta nhập nhau, mami xong người ta không dám ho, mami buồn ho, không dám ho. Mami sợ.
Yeah.
Mami không dám đi vô mấy cái siêu thị luôn, mami sợ luôn, tại vì người nước ngoài không thích mình đâu.
Yeah.
Mình tưởng người ta mình China hay cái gì đó, Asian đó, tao thích. Cho nên mình hay stay far away from them, không dám gần.
Wow, okay.
Bữa mà mình đi mà thấy cái men á, lịch á, thấy mẹ sao đi, thấy mẹ đi xa xa.
Oh wow, really?
Thì la vậy chứ sao, người ta sợ bệnh á.
Thôi, well, con gặp mami lại á, con về con gặp mami. Thôi, bye mom. It was like a little bit of lecture, a little bit of tough love, a little bit of like, what are you doing with your life, a little bit of, all that. But at the end of it, like, she was just like making sure that I was okay. I sometimes get into a deep space where I feel like nobody's watching me, and it's because being in this big city, it really took a toll on me, just like thinking that like I was alone. But I always remember that I made a lot of friends here, and I have a business partner, and I have my family, and I have the grace of God just like watching over me, and so I'm not completely alone. It's just at times that are tough, like I love you is really powerful, and so I'm so glad I said it.
So for me, the most memorable moment I have where I said I love you was to my late mom who passed away. I'd say around 3 years ago. It was on her deathbed where I did say I love you. I do remember around like 2 months prior is when she started to lose her voice. It was getting very straining for her to do anything at all. She was mostly bedridden for that last 2 months that we had her here. It was one dark night, me, my dad, and her were all together in the room. And we were just, as we normally did during that time, we were just together in silence, not really saying anything. There wasn't really much that needed to be said. At one point, my dad did kind of close in on me. He came in, or he like stood next to my ear, and he whispered to me that it's okay to cry. And when you hear those words, right, in those types of situations, you tend to let go. So obviously I ended up crying, sobbing, all that ugly stuff that no one really wants to go through, and I hope no one does ever. But and I do remember, with my head down sobbing, she put her hands up to my hair and started playing with my hair like how she did when I was a little kid. And so I look up, and she's staring at me, and I tell her, I love you, Mom. I love you. And she said it back, to which obviously I wouldn't say I lost it, right, for lack of a better word, but it really did hit really deep for me. I don't think I've ever received or have experienced any type of that love. Like when she said I love you, and it not only was loud and clear, it had this weight to it, When she said I love you, I really did feel that all throughout my body and all throughout my head too. And so I'm really glad that I was able to experience that one last time at least before she passed away.